So, hello guys, it's me, Gaming Star here, and today I am back in an episode of a brand new Let's Play of The Greatest Attorney Adventures. Yeah, I thought I'd do this. I thought I'd do this because, well, you know, Breath of the Wild is being really long, right? It's being a really long Let's Play, so why not have another one in between? Why not have another Let's Play between it, so we can kind of have like a switch between, right? So we can have something other than Breath of the Wild. Listen, I love Breath of the Wild, but like, let's do some switching. So. Let's start. So for this one, I'm gonna have Japanese voices on, only for this case, and after that I'll switch, over to the English voices. So that's gonna be my plan. So if you're gonna wonder about the voices, you know, because there's two options, so that's why. Let's go. Let me be quiet for this.
歴史的な開国から数十年、文明開化の大号令のもと、極東の島国にまさに今西洋文化の大波が押し寄せていた。活気に満ち溢れる帝都の民は変化、革新の熱気にむせ返り、その変化に戸惑う者も飲み込んで、時代は大きなうねりの中にあった。そして今、そんな時代を舞台に一つの物語が幕を開く。
Episode 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure. So that's gonna be basically a tutorial trial, of course. We already know these, right? So we already know these. So really easy. It's mostly it's a long one. Actually, for a first case, it's pretty long. So I've learned this when I was like, damn, it's pretty long for a first case. 22nd November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary Defendants Ante-Chamber 5. Nah. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond this door is this quiet little chamber? It's the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares. Murderer! Sorry. I'm not a murderer. My name is Yunosuke Narahoda. I'm gonna butcher these. I swear to God, I'm sorry about that. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. Oh, my man. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how the court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh! Yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean? I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. I'm gonna butcher these. I'm sorry. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also is second year of Yume University, but he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet, you said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you're representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you. I'm proud of you as a friend. There's not a soul in the universe who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura bellowing around his temple. He literally has wind! like just concentrated wind in his head. Just concentrated. It's right there. I wanted to bring about change in our legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. And come with me. We'd have the wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only if it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then. Partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me, but never mind that for now. Asogi, you should go immediately into the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Hironosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. If I may. Sorry. You must be the defendant, Hironosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. I'm nervous. My name is Yunji Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree Kazuma studying abroad. Usogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you have no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that the permission will be revoked. Never granted again. What? As I suspected. You were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing how he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it! I swear it! I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not gonna suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right. So, as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? Like I'm gonna get married? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is out again. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our words. Old-timey words here, huh? Seeing our surreptitious decisions are cut short. Can't read. So let me just summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be in defense in this trial. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Oh, fuck off. This is it. If the trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, he'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea what to lay ahead, I embarked on a forgettable trial. This sounds gonna be a duology instead of a trilogy. My one and only chance to prove my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. #22nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom number 2. So this is a courtroom. Kind of spooky. The Supreme Court of Judiciary. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that have been demanded is a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's close to the ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Hey, look who it is! It's the ancestor! The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ouchie! I love you. Prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. Oh, I love you. Should I do the tough voice again? Because I don't know if I don't want to straighten my throat though. As a defense. I really don't want to straighten it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it. Before I begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made last-minute request to a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. But it's an unusual circumstance, I'm obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This is supposed to be the question. Who's going to defend me? What Professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I'm doing something. What should I do? Answer I do! Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here with the defendant... Ha! Can I raise my hand real quick? I'm in class. Hey. What is the meaning of this utter outburst? I would like to inform the court that Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself! You'll be... What?! Playing at Ryunosuke. Professor Mikatova told me everything just now before the trial. You did what? You said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get off? No, it's not that, really! It's just that... Well, there's a chance that things don't go well for me. I couldn't bear the reason that you... Yes. I knew that that's how you feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikatova stuck his nose in. Oh my god. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Usually lose. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really? UDI! Make no mistake, counsel. It merely shows the defendant his innocence apparent. He's confident he can speak for himself. Usually it's a death sentence. It is so Naruhodo-san. Oh! Yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Ugh. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought here before the Supreme Court, you must perpetuate the most heinous crime indeed. If you're no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judiciary Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, I can't because he's more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in the case. Well, that's easy then. If I heard his name more times than I can remember. But... Wait. Ah, fuck. Oh, I'm so nervous I can't even remember at all. What was it again? Ryunosuke? The court record. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information can be found in the court record, but I can't even find that. The R button! It's simple, you can add with the R. If you find progressively, just cancel. Yeah, it's a tutorial, so it's pretty basic. Just press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you collected. Now try switching over to people instead. So post-mortem. You'll find the details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. The victim is John H. Wilson. So yeah. John H. Wilson. So remember, everything in the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record and press X to present. Hi! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited from UMA University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire, yeah, this is where shit gets real, bros, is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. This actually was a military period. And for most of you are aware, was to sign a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman is split in our soil. You two are both undergraduates in Imperial UMA University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution to provide your education, you have no honor! This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution in this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. Pussies. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has unusual particularities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Or Englishwoman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was Englishman. Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's the very day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then. Partner. The British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think. Wait. Englishman. Oh, there he is. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, let's go say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Nadahodo. Yes, Your Excellency! How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? It states before the cause of death. A gunshot wound, I think, if I can recall. Cause of death, well, obviously that was, Reynosuke. Remember, the court evidence which was backed by evidence, but how? Find a piece of evidence which was presented for us. Do it now. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. John H. Wilson, male, British, time of death, 19th November, shortly after 2 p.m. A single bullet fired at close range, fatal hemorrhage from petrocloptic trauma. No exit wound, bullet did not pass through the body. So, yeah, gunshot wound. Hi! Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile! That's post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. Post-mortem report. In the West, the doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions in that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm going to test it. And so-called photographic print at the scene of the crime. You clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photographic print of the victim has been entered in the court record. Check that out a few times. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to their drawing. The details are incredible. Yeah, because it's a picture. Very well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So without further ado, in order to better appraise the court of the facts of this case, the prosecution hereby calls the first witness who was there to see the crime when it happened. Oh, this is done. I think I may have worked out the way the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. McDonough? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. He's still speaking, he simply said, Kazuma Sogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking to his orin, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give will be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look at a big woman to control the cold sweats. Oh boy, to rein in the crazy headband and control the cold stares first. The magical wind. It's inheritance in the Sogi clan. It's inheritance. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm the head waiter at a Western style restaurant called La Carnival. A Spanish restaurant from the looks of it. Or Portuguese. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some... I think he has a condition. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels and accommodated overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants in the Occidental Eatery 3 days ago. Understood, Hosonaga-san. You'll kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty introductions from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at the time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair, and standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, is the accused university student. Hi! Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up the gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him! There it is. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness report of what he saw, you amateur. But... the next time you interrupt in appropriate time, you'll be penalized, defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Nidosuke. You'll have a chance to fight back. But for now, just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in hand was the same man we see here in court today. Yes, I've got a question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? Oh, this is gonna be an interesting contradiction. No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around the table. What's the matter, Josuke? That's just not right. There was someone else. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting in the opposite end of this table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Let's interject. Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting at the same table. Dear me, what are we gonna do with you? If your blame disregarded the court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw! Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to the dining room. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look at it if you'd like to. Let's see. Ah, sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right, I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a trivial situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman's question was settled seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan added to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Add the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He was completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered in the court record. Meanwhile, having a coughing fit over there, I can spit out blood. Very nice. Very nice. So, the court has now heard the prices of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant in the trial today. It would seem that we're looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court will be willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this as waiter as for witness in order to explain the details of the case. I was being warned the defense if you determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has divisive evidence as sworn witnesses presented at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope of a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikatoba said it, and the judge in the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead to push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing to throw that trust back in my face. Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove the innocence of whatever means necessary. You're just going to have to abandon the duty? Are you going to give this up yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out witnesses. Then we'll see if this defensive evidence really is. The wind. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with proceedings. Mr. Payne, Ouchie. Well, you are warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well, officer. Bring the next witness. Witness, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Aisa Nosa reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I'm employed as a purveyor to find articles of antiquity and embassy of our nation, Nippon. I'm conducting a trade of Rasute Humble Priest, 2nd District. Kuriori Korukuta at your service. I can't pronounce shit. An antique dealer and a soldier? What an unusual pairing. Of a baby. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant the day in question. There must be the diners at the other table the woman mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea with the most exquisite aroma in the establishment in question. Always posting it. And not infrequently converse with interesting parties regarding curios if I'm making business. I can't understand a word the old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular La Carnival. Literally the carnival. It takes out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, the sergeant looks more like he's to be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative! The enemy wins until attacking was the foreigner, and that can only be described as an act of war, sir! It was a black uniform rule infantry man over there was a loaded firearm, sir! This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I've heard a strange noise during the last thing he said. So this is decisive evidence the prosecution is threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment that you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, what are you saying? To feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling comfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw, the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Standing at the ready to report, sir! Unsavory memories of the most Arabic afternoon. What the witnesses saw? I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Tactical. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine gold curio for the military gentleman. At the precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniform veteran had fired an English civilian from the back, cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious, abscond precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second the defendant fired the weapon at the victim? Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. The times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I don't shoot anyone. Well, is that really true, Needleskin? Yes. All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I picked it up, bang. Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal at the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witness testimonies was a clue to who the criminal was. There is. Ryudosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine? Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It's time to bring the skipbook students to justice! Certainly, the testimony of court is heard. Amazing individuals in doubt. Fuck off! I understand it's old, but damn! It's like the old days of fuck. Hi! Bit. I would like to raise my hand and have the right to cross-examine. What in the name of Emperor's meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense! Defense the right to cross-examination! Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh. How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How could he possibly carry out cross-examination? The defense is asserting his right to cross-examination. Whether or not you do is capable of is irrelevant. Cuz was so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins. But I don't even know what I have to do in the cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that the soldier said it has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. The key is to give evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence of the witness lying. Now let's go, Ryudosuke. Don't let him beat you. Alright then, it's all or nothing. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the court record real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna check the court record real quick or something, because... Let me check something. Photograph of the victim. So we have the gunshot. Then we have the stake. That stake is gonna be important, and you're gonna see why! The entrance, the kitchen, and then there's that. Alright. I was adjusting the regulation of beefsteak at the restaurant, having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself was experiencing virtues. You can actually get an achievement if you press the first statement. Press the first statement and you can actually get an achievement. But I've already got this achievement in this file, but if you don't have one, you can get an achievement. What? Why aren't you saying anything? Some new interrogation technique? I had thought of what I wanted to say. If I catch your attention, anything that bothers you. Alright then, this beef steak you mentioned. What kind of food is that? Take shot! Ah! Beef steak is a delicious cut of veal, previously cooked on cast iron grills and served piping hot. Oh. I had a voice crack right there. I'm sorry. The food received the medals of honor. Beef steak will be highly decorated as a cutlet. Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. What's the next question I'm thinking of? I don't know. This cutlet you mentioned. What kind of food is that? Shut up! Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal, toasted in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict, don't your crimes, and when you really start to try it! Yes, sir, I will try on the double, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to the questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry. I'll do my best. So next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing sort of a wah crying sound? Wah! Negative! Well, at least we've learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. It's not easy knowing questions to ask. That's true. Alright, so you actually do get this achievement if you, again, if you don't have it. But I already have it, so I didn't get that. But if you do, if you're playing along, that is. 3, 4. The black uniformed cadet fired an English civilian from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Here's the thing. Let's look at the victim. It wasn't in the back, it was in the front. Hi! Yes! Bro! What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? First, it is a photographic printed on my mustache. Consistency, sir! Inconsistency. I mean, yes! There's a clear consistency here. I love the little things like that. It makes me laugh. What nonsense. Okay, Prince, possibly tell us what we don't already know. Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say about the words that can come out of my mouth. I think this proves any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for amateur students here in the Grand Courtroom. Ugh, this is so frustrating! Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. Couldn't be more plain. To spell out the words an insult to the court. Kazuma? What? What are you talking about? It appeared from the single glance of the photographic prints presented as the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Ayase-Nosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadets fired at the English civilian from the back, you cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. But no, this can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. Of course, he's amateur, so he knows. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest, not the back. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, well, what? Was that something just popped from behind his back and he pushed it down again? A baby. Certainly there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. We're not agree, Sergeant Nosa. Yes, sir. The judiciary that would appear to be infeasible. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were... Firmly fixed a delicious black-eyed about steak, sir! What?! The last testimony from the court was proving one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. The witness, Sergeant Ayase-Nosa, did not see the defendant fire the gun at all! Ugh, that's absurd! I think the conclusion must be drawn as simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in the Grand Courtroom! Yeah! There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. Title drop. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing fire directly at the victim's back. But I never fired the gun! All I did was pick it up from the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot is interesting me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure. Oh! Indeed! Hoyera Goban! My prize coin! On each occasion when I visit a restaurant, it is my habit to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket interested in shop Urasute. I hope you're meeting a rich diner who might have bought it for me. On the day under scrutiny, it was a military man that provided my Hoi treasure. Believed that if I purchased a rare find, I didn't have to present a little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes in the briefest of moments, there was no more. Simply vanished. That's gonna be a big plot point. The Koban vanished? Hunting around at the table, I was in case they had fallen there when it happened. You heard a gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but it had not as a concern only finding my obscure Hoi treasure. Nothing can distract me! Okay! Jeez! Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoi Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed a prize coin for himself. Yeah, see how it's gonna be important? As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send full report to Great Britain Telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, as witness testimony to court has been heard as inconclusive, no matter how supportive our government feels must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict in this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fledged the tiger at the front gate, but he will find the wolf at the back. My witness have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing the next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed a despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryosuke Naruhodo. What?! He really sees a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Ugh. Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. He will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegations. And that clear? As clear as Kiriko Glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir, at once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out of over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative! The newest members of the Nosa family to rise up to the ranks, sir. Name? Idol. It would be seem the straps are a sign of Sergeant being too strapped for the nanny. Idol. Tension! Your father's about to quell the enemy! Watch and learn, my boy! Kid, you're snot. You really gotta, Hey, at least it's not the Windmaker kid snot. You know what I'm talking about, right? At least it's not that one. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't a precise moment that the firearm was discharged, it was almost the same thing. Yes, pointing the gun as foreign man, he was a young lad in black, that much is something. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, dining all by himself. No, but there was a lady. Therefore, no other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. The little baby, though. These testimonies are certainly... Objection! Wait, that's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of that outburst already. But there was a woman, and there's a young woman at this table. You must have seen her. Everyone must have seen her. If you call yourself a lawyer, you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We're not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. It's a photograph printed to see in the crime council. That's steak. Indeed, at the table the victim was dining, taken and investigated immediately after the incident. As plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of the print. It would have reasonable to conduct the victim was not accompanying everyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to a bottle of carbonated water and steak. seems familiar with the stake being important to the plot, doesn't it? It seems familiar, huh? It seems familiar. I don't understand what's going on here. I swear to God, when I saw the stake being important, I was like, that stake's gonna be important, just like in Turnabouts, just like in that one case in the first game. Holy shit, I swear to God, it's gonna be that. So puzzle, nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before him said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true! I saw her! I swear I saw that woman with him! I was ashamed to be able to look at the report group every time after all. The witness testifies were just heard, leaving no further room for doubt. There are very sensitive political times, as we know. The ink is still fresh in the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takasuchi Ouchi, will contribute to the immunity of these two grand empires is an honor. Oh, God. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule! Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now it's your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine a witness. Make it quick, understood? Rules can be something bending at times. Alright, boys. Can I press real quick? You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. As you have been paid to point out time and time again, I feel like I'm growing callous in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to be caught to even a glimpse of this woman. Oh, if only there were no people dying at the time, no one would notice her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course the place is almost empty, but what do you expect? Certainly 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of time to eat. There's maybe a snack or two. What if it was a reason why the victim was eating at a time of day? I was here alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? The found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is this, Counsel? A medicinal report card, Your Excellency. It was seen that the victim had appointed the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hota Clinic. This is appeared to entry the date in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m. The victim was late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before it was willing to bear in this case. I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, sorry to say. Remember, he requested to enter the court record of evidence if it could be useful. Should I ask? Ask for your tip submitted. I feel it's important. Anything can be important, you never know for sure, I mean, duh. If I may, I'd like to ask for the medicinal report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? I swear I'm doing the thoughtful voice with him right now. The court was already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence could be extraneous, not to mention that the victim's movements prior to the arrival of the restaurant are no concern. Whether or not to be your concern is up to decide. We have the right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request of submissions of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. Most disturbing trend. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. We're gonna check that out real quick. What do you need this one else for, please? Let's go and check this out real quick. The medical report card. Damn it, we can't check it out right now. We have to explore things every possible angle first. I hear you. Depends for prolong this trial as much. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a tutorial real quick about exploring things. Has you forgotten? With these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate the accursed Korekuta-san. And examine the cards. We can't examine the fucking card. God damn it, we can't examine the card yet! There's nothing else here about the medical card. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We're glad some information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can see that brings in skeptics to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see the medical report card you got. Oh, I mean this? Medical report card, so... Yes, a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it a little further in detail. How exactly? Like that. Thank you! Yeah, I know, I know... Use the Konami code. Yeah, use the Konami code. To rotate the evidence or rotation, examine different angles. And you could do that. I know. You can move the crosshairs around the this before. Thank you. And then if you find anything interesting, then yeah, you point at it to investigate. Yeah, sometimes you find extra evidence or update the evidence. Alright, let's see what I can do. Alright, so we have dentist, Hota Clinic, date, record. It looks like this medicine was first issued some time ago. Probably a record long-time treatment, that's why it's been on the doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, if you were dead, they would need a point, so you don't like doctors then. Why would you? They would make you drink horrible tasting medicine and give you painful injections. And then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb. Like, really though. You should be with a bad case of stubbornness, unless of which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. Mr. John Wilson, Hota Clinic. It says Hota Clinic, it's a medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? Which I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Most people would give their right arm to had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this clinic will really treat people as like that. Let's keep looking for clues. I'm gonna be in this. So you see, you can open this. Just go ahead and open it up. So yeah, this is gonna be something that we never had in the previous ones, except for that one case. That's interesting. Here we go. Let's see how it looks. Some kind of medical history. There's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before an incident, we had a bad tooth. He had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used the laughing gas. That was most modern practice in the West for pain relief. I've had laughing gas actually, and it's sometimes okay. Here's some. It sometimes makes you laugh, but sometimes it doesn't. You know, like for me, I had I had to have it because like they straight up had to take out some of my teeth. Like I had that before, and I had to hold like a mask on me like this, just like this all over my face. Yeah. Anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe that there's anything that can actually stop the pain. Yeah, there's a cautionary note in the medical procedure law. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. So he's prohibited from any drinking or anything but water. And no eating. So why would he have steak? That's the big problem. This information, the meaning in one particular statement totally changes. So I think listen to testimony again, don't you? Definitely. We're ready. Even if I saw the precise moment of discharge in the same thing. And it, you actually get a you also get an achievement if you examine the entire report card, which is the healthy curiosity, by the way, just as a reminder. And then let's go to statement number 4. Indeed, alone he was, dining all by himself. Here's the thing, he won't be able to eat because you know the laughing gas still has an effect. So like, and I mean, you know, like you'd be kind of numb. Trust me, you end up numb. Like you end up just so numb. Like you straight up just go like, you can't feel anything, so you just feel numb. Yeah, that's the side effect of it. I know because I had it myself, and I noticed. Let's present. Hi. Well, I think, what are you doing, lad? Call yourself a lawyer! I wish I could, but if it was more cute. Yeah, that's okay. Everyone stumbles under words occasionally. Under circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly because of the she just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you've chosen your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Here we go. Korekuta-san, this is the medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And I don't see. What it, boy? Comparing what is written on the report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, dear me. Have you ever gotten over so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt the court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's... Remember, Ryosuke, you don't use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to... The witness testimony in court has been heard and clear and concise. No, it's not. The medical report card has no bearing in the matter at all. It does. But the stake is important. I mean, it's stake. When I saw the stake was gonna be important, I knew the stake is important. That stake is gonna be the thing that will make it everything. Ooh. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? What? The outbursts have petrified me, boy! Hold on, let me see what I was reading, because I forgot to read it. No one else besides this pale-faced puppy could have possibly perpetuate the crime. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hota Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, Kiddit? That orders not to eat? So what? It was all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Korekuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court of unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. Oh, there's a slam, baby! But it could possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just one of his tooth extracted and still experiencing the effects of aesthetic. Expertly done, partner. Yes! Now we have it. We're getting to... What? This is nonsense, you little upstart! Just base this accusation, just look at the photographic evidence! But what if Stick was implemented by someone else? Just as a reminder, you'll see the plate of food in the victim's table. Ready, eye! Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about, or you're gonna follow the logic. How dare you! I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant's case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Rinnosuke? Huh? Yes! Most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Yes. Which leaves one crucial conundrum. Why is the steak there? Who in fact was eating the pictured beef steak? I think I know who. Over here, the defense's new puzzle. I assume you're ready, Console? Console? Oh! That means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to the question, which is pivotal. We'll start of turning this trial around. Show him what you're made of. Got it. So, the person had been eating the steak at the victim's table as a yet unknown third party. Obviously, it can't only have been someone else sitting at the professor's table. You will not let this go, will ya? There's no such person. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yes, evidence is having a steak on the table. Therefore, the logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion, and it's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. So the court decides to push through the ruling at the stage. We will lodge a formal complaint to the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Kazuma, are you insane? You would take on the government? Yes. Fuck the government. Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have no issue with them. These two witnesses in the stand. I've just that. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated the evidence that the victim is not alone. So if it turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury. And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No! Oh, the baby. No, negative. There was no mention of the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right. This man says they just never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told. You said it. Oh. What? What did you just say, Korekota-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders. Now, hold on, I was, You said you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, love you. Should be. Yeah, recording. You saw victim leave Moses? No. What? I'm taking all this. Witnesses. They hold statements? It's a true pair. Just one. Simple. Simple the tongue! Oh. Yeah, this is a long trial. Order, counsel. Wait long enough. Explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. There it goes. Who's behind this? We'll try to make you keep your mouth shut. Well, that's classified. You prepared to betray this computer to murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Yorinosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to us, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone of considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchi had any idea of it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there's only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? We confirm who tried to silence these witnesses, and you continue our pursuit. So you have to keep whoever tried to make it to keep their mouth shut. Of course, we'll have the evidence before the organizations. Evidence that proves whoever really did it really prior. But how? Possibly? Remember you made progress before? Before? To examine a piece of evidence in detail and result. Oh yes, that's right. So, let's examine the waiter's business card. Go in the back. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosanaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. This is it! This card. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see how it says with his name? Satoru Hosanaga. Oh yes, this is confirmed from his name. That's the point. That's not the name, that's unexpected. It's the job title. Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosanaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power to influence their willingness. That's way more. So there we go. Yes, that's right. Well, so what is this? We need to examine everything of the list.
Damn.
Nothing.
Hi, this is
There's no time to lose. Closer. I want answers. Is it proven that the witnesses have been manipulated? I'm sure your penalty will be severe. Please, wait. Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god, I knew nothing. And what does the defense have to do about all this? Say all this? Well, Your Excellency! What to think? I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first thing that comes in my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witness is Satoru Hosanaga. Here we go. Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosanaga-san. Hosanaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier. Poppycock! What possible reason of a waiter to have these witnesses give false testimony? There's not much of the fact that they have waiter could not possibly level influence. For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly was a waiter. What? You truly were? Oh, come on, Yorinosuke. Time to hit the court with the truth. The truth that his real identity is... Blah blah. Here we go. The plan at a restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree, great detail, attention to detail, but I'm not sure to conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should say the front? Yes! The front of the back of the card. That's where his detail is telling us. Would somebody please explain the overexcited student is trying to say? Hosanaga sketched the plan in a restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. In front of the business card reveals the man whose question his profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was in fact the waiter who gave you the orders, or was he told you not to mention that you've seen the foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well, what? Oh! Hi! Inspector Hosanaga! I was worried something like this may have happened. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch evidence, I realized it was a possibility. That's why he was scared shitless. The colonel will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Well. Is there a problem? I had the plan to the court officer once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand him his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself get distracted when I made that sketch. That was an unusually careless mistake. So you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Of course. I was working undercover. The salary. Wait, hold on. What did he say? Of course your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there was a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can say categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosanaga, but you will elaborate one point to the court that you lied about your profession. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard information about these two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you was being aware of this person's presence and was served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you requested those witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair beside him, gun in hands, to the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be everyone's best interest not to persuade that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of his relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. The Englishwoman had been murdered on our soil to name an Englishwoman the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain, and I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical facilities research laboratory, is a young English woman. What? Bro. You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas student. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands you to name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student who serves her laboratory at Yuma University's medical laboratory. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of the scene and ordered the witness to make no mention of her in her testimonies. It must be now up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Ah, shit, bros. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, the victim was dining alone. However, as we now discover, this premise is false. It would be a direction of the justice system to ignore the truth and give it a ruling at this point. But, Your Excellency, that will be missing the noon deadline of ruling order to send telegraphic report to Great Britain. The own government will be surely displeased with such actions. Calm yourself, counsel. I will not allow the government of the country or any other influence proceedings in my courtroom. Inspector Hosanaga? Yes, sir. You will locate the Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given to the police bureau! As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it wouldn't be a problem. Nothing will get in my way. Court will be adjourned briefly. The prosecution must call English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency! Good. Then we'll have a 30-minute recess before conceiving. Alright, let's do it. Because obviously we're going to do it all in one go. Because fuck it. All in one go, boys! May have in your same data section? Yes. Because I have 2 little parts. You see how I did this last year? Yeah, that was last year. I find it really funny how I actually managed to basically do like most of the game. Like literally most of both games like in under 2 days. Wow, that's impressive. That's actually really impressive now that I think about it. Wow. Wow. I just realized the dates and I'm like, wow, dude, I really was quick. I was quick as hell. All things considered. There we go. Excellent work, Nidolsuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable, I mean. Looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started fighting consistency in the testimonies. I think you might have natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't never want to see an inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, the student of Great Britain, is she? So I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him. Like as I say all day long. Yes, you have. Haven't you? You might be very confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she is hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just a moment at the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor and I just picked it up. Bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking, the detective he apprehended the suspect within a moment's delay. Yes, because I was shut up at the pantry. I have no idea what happened outside of the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikatova. Well, see if that was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team, Your Excellency, I have to say. Yes, you seem to from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't have been able to act as a lawyer in the trial. Our modern country is still in infancy, our justice system even more so. That is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas and all we can. I want to avoid a situation that would result in your study toward Great Britain being cancelled. Wow, that makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, we're the kind of man who can't help his friend with the crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it comes down to you, young man. Me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence. The uncover really took place in a restaurant. I must say I'm very much willing to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, do you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and is well known one of that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we are going up against. That gentlewoman whose involvement of our police bureau went extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at disposal. The only doubt that your pair will be putting a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you! Nothing. I need you to run errand university once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Nadahodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's go back in, partner. Let's go out there and deal a decisive blow. Before these old fossils know what's hit them. Up, Kazuma. Bro. What? Thank you. Really? What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I've already been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after trial. You can treat me one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria, University Street, with an extra large portion, of course. Alright, second part of the trial. There's actually a 3-part trial. This is technically a 3-parter, so this is a 3-part trial. Let's do them all. Fuck it, bros. Let's go. The court hereby resumed the trial of Yosuke Nadahodo. Prosecutor Ouchi, we managed to subpoena the witness. Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under a rather painful scrutiny from the government. Oh, sorry. Jeez. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. We still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down from our nation's founders. Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Honestly true. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is that what our nation's justice system is? Is this a Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy. And you and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. But lending ourselves to the great world power will become strong. Diplomacy will never be more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm not an expert, I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in the Supreme Court, there is one thing I would feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth as a justice system is a country with no future at all. Honestly, that's actually pretty true though. Like, literally, like, that's true. That's true, bro. That is true. I'm not gonna lie. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This country is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuit of the truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! I love Ouchie. He's amazing. Hi. a delightfully welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan. Now, such a distant land. Tea! Somebody bring in tea! In England, no discussions take place about tea! Is that true? No idea. So, I really wanted to. I actually went to London for a little bit in the airport, but I really want to visit London. I actually want to like stay in London for a bit, genuinely. Can we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosanaga. I have been working undercover as Yes, we know all about you already. Inspector Hosanaga, where are your manners in England? It's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. It's the West. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation, one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did. Didn't I? Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ridosuke. The powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Listen, I could read cursive, okay? I can read cursive, but this cursive I literally cannot read. This is the one cursive. I can read cursive, okay? I can read cursive because, you know, most people can't nowadays, but I can. Because, you know, in Puerto Rico, you're taught the cursive, yeah. But I cannot read this cursive, maybe a little bit, but not a lot. I can read just a little bit of it, just a tiny bit, because it's like, it's literally gibberish. This is literal gibberish cursive. Fun fact, it's not even meant to be readable. There's some parts that you can kind of understand, like for example, the L and the U there, and then the S, for example, and, you know, for example that, and the U, but outside of that, it's complete gibberish. It's a complete gibberish cursive. Literally can't even understand it. It's intentional. That's actually an intentional choice. And I like that, to show that she's a foreigner. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? I only can read a few. Yeah, but okay. I literally cannot, for the love of God. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yuma University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the delicate tones of the delightful language of the British people. Delicate. Yeah. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was a beautiful hummingbird song. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You're obviously too fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've already been paying attention to your English classes, Yudosuke. The court thanks to the beautiful lady for taking a stand. Now, if we may trouble you, confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? I can only... Okay, again, gibberish. But there's some that I can make out. Like, I can make up some of the letters, but overall, I literally cannot make out nothing. Nothing. Literally. Yep, of the Loman? She says, yes. That is not a yes! I heard of in there. That is not a yes. And I know English, and that is not a yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. Yep, of a min. Lu, su, and then it's just pure gibberish. Lo, in, I'm. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. God. She says that was due to her presentation at the university, so she'd leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind to cast your eyes over the photographic print? That's in black and white. Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your pleasant eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Blah blah blah. I can't read anything. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment the accused, standing right here in this very courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. She really likes her swans. Order! Order in the court! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have absolute conclusive witness statement. Well, looks like we're clear now. Clear with how real enemy is. Unfortunately, we'll have to ask formal testimony. Please kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Of question mark? Oh, sweet God. A frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. Exclamation mark. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. What? That's complete bullshit! Bro, that's... I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Bullshit! Bull! Was condemning testimony. Fuck that shit! No! I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all! Literally. Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at the Snow-White Angel. Sure, a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine those words the court's gonna believe. You're still making the same mistakes here, Niska. You must have blurred out when you're goaded like that. So you need to learn. Oh, this is so annoying! Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took the statements from the lady and two witnesses to testify before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last witness were completely worthless. However, well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit she is today. Wow, she barely changed. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where you can conceal a firearm. In the Swan? I have a theory. Maybe in the Swan, or in like, oh, I don't know, the big-ass skirt. People have done that. Or strip it to your leg. People have done that. I would think she could hide that gun almost anywhere with that outfit if she wanted to. That's what I said. Unless in like the precise occasion where the witness had a hidden weapon can be shown, this is moot. Literally anywhere. Hell, even in her boobs. There's the pockets of my outfit, I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words in the matter. Ugh! That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Yeah, you could. Her dress is most like she like kind of like put like a tie and like just kind of like put it like right there on the leg, like that. It's very likely people do that. There are people that do that. Don't think of anything too rash, And if I had got it picked up, that must have been another gun that day. You're right about that, which means the lady is selling another gun. Yes, it would have proved now. And to do so, we'll need to pull her testimony apart. Oh! She's smirking. We know she's lying. We know she had bullshit. Let's go. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. She has the bullshit in her eye, in her smile. And you could tell that's the complete bullshit. La mierda. You could tell it's la mierda. Frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for that is true. So that part is true. That part is true. There's really nothing with that. That part is true. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. What do you mean by that shit, you idiot? So obviously that didn't happen. That obviously did not happen. So that's number 3. 4. Then long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Let's go with 2. Only a beef steak. He was unable to eat, you say? Then why did you order steak? And that was because he had a tooth removed from the clinic. That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so. Yes, she heard the professor who was having some dental treatment. So that would mean the steak is hers. That this was you who ate the steak picture here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows exactly what was left in horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. Dear me, what a harrowing experience to have to travel distant land to the far side of the world and embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear to that crushed evil fiend is subject to a terrible plight. So the very victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. He had water, didn't he? That's right, the utterly carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor wasn't able to eat, so you haven't given person to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. But wait! But wait, hold on. Let me see the picture real quick. There's only one. Here's the thing, there's only one bottle. There's only one bottle of water. There's not a second one. There's no second glass. So it's obviously a lie. In some sense. What do you think? You just get win this point. It's very meaningful. The steak has importance, and I know it. That's the last statement of yours, Miss Brett. So in case it's case. Well, how fascinating. Did tell us the profound bearing. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's estimate to be formally added to testimony. Oh, sidestepped counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat when you added your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, cousin. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent at the time is right. I could use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that. You just skip. Alright. I ordered a beef steak for myself and the professor, and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. But here's the thing. There's only one! There's only one! That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Oh, just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table in the crime scene. That is what exactly it was left. Yes, that is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd, very odd, because there's only one bottle, Ooh, dear me, what odd is the defense's ability to express itself? Virzowska, what is the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers! The cheers. Miss Brett told us that she said the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there would be a second glass. There should be 2 glasses on the table, not one. Oh. You're quite right, counsel. There's only one glass pictured here. Are we supposed to be impressed by nitpicking over a mini toy? What possible difference does the presence and absence of glass make in this case? Oh, yes. Mini toy, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table, concealed the lady's presence? Of course not! It would never do something so reckless. But there should be 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me that you only can clink with only one? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses off the table. Took the 2 glasses off the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there all along, she's saying. Good gracious. What bullshit you're presenting, lady? Complete bull! Sorry. Oh! There, as I assured the court before, there's no consequence at all. Oh, please. You must remember that the student had just murdered the lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. So could have blamed for concealing the glass or 2 in order to say this right. No! We talked about this in frickin'. Oh my god, we talked about this in Justice for All. We talked about this in the final case. We talked about this, remember? That's absurd. Oh, really? We talked about this shit. Oh, we take it to go and to accuse this venerable young and beautiful woman of mischief. Yes. What? No. Let's go put down this mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Oh, that's gibberish, not English. It was seen that she slipped into the small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. Yes, Your Excellency. A small handbag. So the beautiful lady was very graciously explained how the why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, that fact remains the glass absolutely no bearing in this case. Oh, it will. The student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. Ha! No more prestigious accusations. You've wasted enough time already. Oh no, Judge, please no! Indeed, the lady has offered satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. That is not a good reason! I think the henceforth, I'd never do that! I would just leave it! If you were not seen, you would straight up just leave your shit! You would go, I'm out of here! Because for defense of your agreement. Well, I don't know, really. If you really want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show it some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away from her handbag as deeper significance than there is. Call attention to the handbag. We're gonna need a picture. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you said? A purse. Yes, do try to keep up. It already been explained to court that as all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide my gun. But what if she hid it in her... But what if she forgot to mention it was her handbag? In which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick that up too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor, and he didn't fire the gun. We can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't be seriously suggesting, Inspector Hosanaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag? No! Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie? Why did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thinking about the incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real one behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? You okay, bro? Up, there goes the blood. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. Yeah, obviously I don't for this reason, because you're hiding evidence and you're basically doing corruption, and I am not a fan of that. Bruh. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. What do you mean? Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I completely forgot about. The photograph of the print. Oh my fuck. There's the fucking glass. The print of the photograph that I found had been printed immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. And that mark on his hands. Well, I never. You can see right through what's inside. I hate those kind of bags, I swear to God, I really do. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags are like at the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are invisible. Exactly. If we were to search this lady's handbag, with the gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Oh! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Ah! Order! Order! Inspector Hosanaga, will you submit the print evidence at once? Certainly, Your Excellency. Photographic print. I think we had a long cross-examination witness, counsel. The court is now finished with considerable evidence. This photographic print just submitted into court record appears to no further significance. I've suspected no longer need room down the matter to make this ruling. Indeed, William reached the conclusion that pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before as a polypus portrayed of the crime. Oh god. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. In the worst situation I was to start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student with a weak arm meat. Well, the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There was no way to defeat true justice. That is not true justice. In fact, you can chew on your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. I am really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study at Great Britain will be slipped through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced. Which means there's no basis on which you can argue the trial to continue. But wait, there is. Very well, I'll proceed immediate ruling. It seems he'll be able to report to the British government in time after all. That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, have you considered Bitch! Wait, Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule this case yet. The amateurishness is getting tedious. His Excellency deems the trial is over, given his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of this courtroom. Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that there is a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean. Then ruling of the case at this time would be out of the question. This blatant straw clutching. Look at the photographic print. It all shows the handbag the gentleman was carrying the day in question. There will be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted detective has undergone the court scrutiny. However, I failed to see the gleaming information in his handbag. Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of Rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph that just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well. I'll grant the defense an opportunity. Oh, thank you. What? They were unsatisfied in response to the trial will be over with immediate effect. Are you gonna beat me with the goddamn hammer? I am threatened by animation. You're gonna beat me with that hammer in the head so bad I'm gonna be dead, and I'm gonna be dead, aren't I? Do I make myself clear? Yes. Yes, Your Excellency. So take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. If you identify the queries, the significant details and lurid. This. Look at this here. There's an unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like the burn of some description. Oh, she freaked. Dear me, I was pondering a new pitfall you would come out of. Burn, you say? On the victim's wrist. Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with this magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered a burn, do we? No possible way of knowing it either. It's more like I know. Finding this is intrigued the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Alchi points out, with firm connection to the case was shown. I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Oh, him. Minute. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and the other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. I shouldn't have opened any longer. Quite sure His Excellency's given his final ruling anyway. What's your big Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, this all over. So I was thinking I'd just keep digging and digging and digging, hoping my find uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just set the burn to the case. If we do that, we might be able to pry the shutting door back open again. Just give up, Council. Can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid without evidence, it's going to lay to proceed in conjecture. But if we had evidence... Evidence that inevitably linked the burn to the victim's wrist to the case, would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. As soon as he pointed out that, I did notice. His color drained from Miss Brett's face. Really? Oh, I noticed. I have to find something between the burn and the case. I think I know where. The crime scene photo. You know the picture of the stake? It's the moment of truth. And so the evidence proves what it really means. So the defense will present the evidence. The evidence at the crime scene photo. You see the burn. Yep, there we go. Ba-da! What's this, Council? Yet another print? We have prints today. Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. Sure. When we humans look at the scene, we miss things. But it's Photoshop. But in photograph things, we have overlooked the time and record recorded forevermore. So what a Photoshop. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady and further really inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us for a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in the other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped mark on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How? Idiot! You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. Is that your game? Then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. As the victims explain the burnt wrist. The beef steak. Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate. Ah! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. It's a bull because, get it, it's in Spain. You know, bull, Spain. Ah! Or Portugal, also works. The emblem is on the plate. And on his wrist, in the victim's burn. Exactly the same shape! Ah! Ryudosuke, you genius! You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. But even with that case, we don't know what happened today. Question, sure we're not. We could have been the day before that, or most likely happened some other unrelated time. Well, sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. It's recent. A serious injury would have caused quite a commotion at the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosanaga? I can't imagine how it is. It was such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that is suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense pointed out. Yeah, it's kind of like a third. It's like a third. There's no mild burn, that's for sure. It's like a third-degree burn. Third-degree burn. Yeah, third degree. Can you be more specific, Inspector? I know my burns about this point because I had to do some burn research when doing one of my little ideas. Yeah, I could explain that later. Well, let's see. If the plate was around 90 degrees centigrade, burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. So it would have been a third-degree burn. Third degree burn. It's conceivable that the victim would have let out a scream of pain then. Like a second to third. Like a third degree burn. Something like that. I've been investigating the restaurant for several weeks around and never heard anyone scream at all. So I had waiter to Carnival. I can testify to a house hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter! Point. Boom. There you have it. Something isn't right. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves in piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. I had a little bird. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not that day, or any before it. That's right, and strange it is. On that day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, counsel. And the rest of the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, old antique dealer, all of us would have added in question have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? That's true. I almost don't believe it, Hirosuke. Do you think? Oh, I believe. I know. I never tried to arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when we suffered his burden to risk Dr. Wilson was already deceased. He was dead. Man was dead. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate 3 whole seconds. Even when you're asleep, you wake up going, ah, fuck! Or, oh, bloody hell, that hurt. Bloody hell, fuck! You know, even when you're sleeping, you would still feel that pain, so. If you're like in a super deep sleep, yeah, you know, like, trust me, like sometimes I don't even feel it, but that's clearly impossible. Apart from one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? I'm stupid sometimes. Yes, it's only possible. The man was already dead. Oh, already? Dead? The dryness from her face. Knowing what we know now, that's the only possible explanation. And the beefsteak was spread at Dr. Wilson's table that day. The professor was already dead! That's madness! Ah, shit, bros. On, please! Counsel, explain the absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot? That's right, absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is another ridiculous play by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts. No, Prosecutor Ouchie. It's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon. As soon as it became apparent the victim had suffered a burn while at the restaurant, this whole case has turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? It's like a second or third degree burn. Your Excellency, this court must hear this witness again. It is true, I believe the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about this. Incredible. I should admit, today's twisting events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But Your Excellency! The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Oh, she speaks Japanese! Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. I kind of call it some, I don't know, for me it's kinda, but not really, I'm gonna be honest. Elegant language is kind of it's subjective. It's not exactly, it's kind of subjective. Spanish is more beautiful. Spanish has more emotion than English, if you want to be honest, boys. Let's be honest here. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. Wow! Rude. Everyone in the court's like, but it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. I consist as I shall have lowered myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well, you have become a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this. this lavish consideration you're graciously offered us. I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I'll ask you to testify your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Krynosuke. The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor raised their glasses and toast. As far as I heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possibility of cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way the man's life had been taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably would have picked it up on it anyway. I can't do British accents. I'm trying. That's very beautiful testimony. We go down to Supreme Court history. Thank you. Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of the unbecoming tongue. Ah, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. You've insulted. Not at all. Not at all. It's delightfully merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that his boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice! May the irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Amen! Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forget your irritation, Miss Brett, and put up your cross-examination now. Amen. I thought you noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel. This is your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with the witness testimony, I will be ruling the case immediately. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Let's go! Yes. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed to cross-examination. Whoo! Let's go. Let's go, boys. Alright, here we go. Two, three, 4, 5. But of course, the country's inferior investigative technique probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Blah, 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 blah. What do you mean? Inferior. What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found the crime scene in later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't it that so? Quite right. Lack got an eyes open for business as usual today, the days after the incident. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Something is going on over there. This naive detectives tried to preserve the crime scene. I am trying as best to tactful about this as I can. Understand? Kill her blood, Lady Formidable. She is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something that this just said. There's another moment before something was it's over there, the Hosanaga. He reacted to that statement. What do you think, Ryuzosuke? I think it's going terribly, no matter how much I press her. Yes, I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find breakaway testimony constantly should be over. But what would it mean? I have to find a way. There must be something. There is a Kazuma. What? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosanaga. The detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if that may be significant. If you're present, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on the last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's go with the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out. Let's go. Back to statement number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then press. Inferior. What do you mean by that? Ouchie. Exactly. Yes, there it is again! The detective's reaction is the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand as an interpreter. But things are very different now. This testimony, the detective just is listening to what Englishman has to say. Could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people actually testify, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find that they let their guard down. You're right, look at him. He's lost his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man to train his thought. Sorry, pursue? Explain how to do it now, just get... You know, use this marker. What marker? Yeah, that. Yeah, I know how to do that. Yeah, I know, bro. Thank you for the tutorial, but I don't need this. I've done the game before. Exactly, which means investigation of different direction is vital to the lost. Shut the... Yeah! What is the meaning of this? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? Is there something you'd like to say? Please share with the court. What is the meaning of this? What's the meaning of this? I meant to say, fuck. Voice. It's a delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault of her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Absolutely not. Huh? The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's immediately involved in this case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement made by Miss Brett? Well, yes, if you don't mind. I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have to have it as lucky when I watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I could since the crime scene is preserving evidence you see. I don't care if you call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. And there he goes having a coffee fit. A crime scene thief. Well, it looks like the laser marks touched the nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that? It's this bottle of carbonated water that took the victim's table the day in question. And yes, it's lost all its fizz, making it 3 days old. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says! Yes, there's some left behind. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. Time is coming, I guarantee it! And there he goes. I can't say to condone him with his actions, but I do understand his sentiment. The country will accept the glass bottle as evidence. So we're gonna have to check this out real quick. Miss Brett. Let's check it out real quick. The label's written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. If you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. It must be very expensive water. What does it say? That's what I'm asking. I go to France and ask. You could just say it, you don't know! So this is the carbonated water, the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's left in the bottle, which is plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have to sip of this keeping it. No, Hinosuke! You can't do that! For one thing, that's evidence, and you can't go drinking evidence. Alright, we don't know what might be inside, do we? Oh, that's funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I really don't want to. You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke. Like ancestor and successor, huh? Both Phoenix and Ryunosuke both eat their evidence. They both eat their evidence. They both eat or drink their evidence. Yes. I wonder. Could there be anything in the water? What's the matter? You got quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have worked something. An interesting possibility. Interesting. Ms. Brett? Can you confirm that D&D's waters are doing the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered Jill's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. The inspector will kindly control his favor. Hi! What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison! Oh, the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank his blood uncarbonated water. Could it be that there was a poison inside? Oh, could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Ah, shite! Odd! Odd! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor was able to slip the poison into his drink. There's only one person who could have possibly done it. Giselle Brett, it was you! This is outrageous. This suggests such a thing of a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you seen the considerable delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have signed a accord of friendship with the British Empire? It's not a mutual friendship. The inkling of rash accusations jeopardize the entire treaty. This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine what individual's guilt of respective war crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We're here to determine the truth. If I may, I will sentence you forever a disgraceful attack on the lovely young... Shut up! It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady! Where did that come from? She just snapped. Damn, lady. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior it may be, you still investigate this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whatever it contained, poison or not. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten my guiding principles already? I strive for flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested it inside the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. And we can find no trace of poison description of the bottle carbonated water, Your Excellency. But wait. But what if it's a different poison? That's a possibility. What? Are you sure? The tests were miraculously accurate about the chief coroner himself. No! No! But wait. What if it's a different poison, What if it's a different poison? I'm very grateful to all of you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrific affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure's all ours. It's all ours. Oh my god, dude. For the love of all things mighty. This can't be right! Everything falls into place as if he was poisoned! Thank you, Consul. The consultation has clarified everything. As the prosecutors asserted, the chest was gunned with a conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who in his own mission was holding the weapon, is a possible culprit. I'm done for! The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience it caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present to the court, Miss Brett? Cousin? Oh, I'm sorry to just skip. I have nothing more. Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving. Ta-ta! Hey! Coming in clutch! Please, wait. Isn't that... What's the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding in court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikatoba, a judicial assistant to the defense. Mikatoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in futoshiki cloth. Ah, shit, boys. Alright, we're almost done. This is going to be the final section. It's actually very short. It's actually shorter compared to the rest of the trial, so let's go. Let's go. Supreme Court, let's go. We're going. Well, I understand you are a judicial assistant in defense, but why is this so dangerous in my courtroom? Huh, a judicial assistant? And a woman, no less. The rules state the females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify. Yes, I fully understand. I only asked for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. Huh, you're too late, little girl. The trial's already been concluded. 5 minutes. Oh, you're excellent. I'm most grateful. Who are you exactly? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now. What is this, a report about something? Written in English. It's Giselle Brett's research. The English ones? After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Ms. Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So does this research, whatever it was, something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh no, of course not. Special characteristics of kukare and its effects on human subjects. Alright, let's do a bit of a Google search, shall we, boys? Let's do a bit of a Google search on what kukare is. Kurare. Kurare. Let's go, boys. Alright, here we go. From the actual Wikipedia, here we go. Interesting. Kurare. What's that? I've never heard that word before. Kurare. Or kurari. I don't know. Time's up! The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespass from the courtroom. There's a little too detail, but I've summarized what I can just know inside the cover. If you think it can be valuable, please cast your eyes over it. This is wonderful! Thank you! This Silver's records me out of the... Goodbye then, and good luck. Alright, but let's check it out, actually. We're gonna check it. We're gonna check it, boys. You have long enough, counsel. Cannot detain our English guessing longer. Alright, hold on. But let's check it real quick. Okay, here we go. Synopsis. A poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of this region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects. Instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Okay, so this definitely describes the death very well, because instant paralysis. And based on the actual Wikipedia description, yes, this actually does happen. So it is it's toxic. It is toxic. And it's used. Kukare poisoning. Or kurare. I said kukare. It's actually kurare, whatever. Road of entry. The above-mentioned effects occur when poison enters the blow through the wound, such as inflicted by a blowpipe dart. The above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound. A wound. So the burn. So maybe the burn. But wait, he was already dead. Wait, hold on. He was already dead. So it's obviously in the water. So obviously the water. The wound is his teeth. It's his teeth. It's his teeth, boy. It's his teeth because remember he had to remove. Remember he had his molars removed. It's his teeth. We got it. Practical applications. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could be application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest cause as a result of full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. Boyos, we found the source. We found the one that will basically get this open. Ho ho, we got it. I asked the prosecution and defense now one last time. Does either side have further evidence to present? I presume not, but we do. We have a big boy evidence. Prosecution's made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is the very last chance. Yes, I know. Let's go! Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence! Look, the unbelievable stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett? Yes, Your Excellency? If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us present a little longer. It's the life limitation, but I'm afraid. It's not a very long till tea time. I politely decline. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realized the phrase was a question. However, I must ask you to treat this as an order. I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense. My apologies, dear lady. So, Counsel. What is the evidence? Oh, but we're gonna go to sections of special characteristics. We understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yuma University, doing research. Research by sheer coincidence, perhaps. Perhaps it's a deadly poison. What? Poison? Where are you going with this, Counsel? A toxin known as Kurare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to an instant death. It's an actual poison. This actual real poison does exist. You're complete utter nonsense. Kurare, you say? I never even heard of it, because it's from South America. You wouldn't have done. What do you mean? I mean that you wouldn't have heard of Kurare before was a simple reason. It's a foreign. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist? Correct. Which means, no matter what test the police can do for toxins, they never identify Kurare. Why? Because it's from South America! Because there is no test available for identifying presence of highly deadly poison! What? Oh, between the voices is fun. Odd. Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? Yes, according to this report offered by the visiting research student from England. Kurare has long been used by tribespeople of South America as poison to lace their arrows. This is true. It seems that it's reasonable wise among European doctors and scientists. Yes, it's true, because obviously, duh, you know who? It's a chemical compound. To lace their arrows! The report states that it produced from the extract of the tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with Kurare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett? Trumpery! These accusations are under trumpery! To start with, if the victim had been administered some of the so-called deadly poison, he would have been screaming and breathing in pain, and the diners would have certainly noticed. That's true. What do you say to the inspector? Boyos. Let's see. Kurare is specifically a non-depolarizing neuromuscular blocking agent. It blocks neuromuscular transmission, a process that allows the central nervous system to control the movement of muscles. As a neuromuscular junction, it basically causes paralysis, which actually between nerve and cell, so basically causes paralysis. Kurare causes muscle paralysis by acting as competitive acetylcholine antagonist. ACH is neurotransmitter released in the neuromuscular junction between transmission information in nerve cells. So medical uses. It's used to treatment of various diseases, including hydrophobia, irrational fear of. Oh, that's cool. I'm actually reading this right now, just for summary. Epilepsy. I was having those students like that. I don't remember anything like that either. There knows the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, this is the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? So let's see. It says purified version of Kurare is called Introxide, was first used with muscle relaxant during surgery on January 23rd, 1942. A 20-year-old man having his appendix removed. Kurare is subsequently replaced by more modern neuromuscular blockers such as Pancurnier. Interesting medical information we learned today, huh? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that Kurare was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis, yes. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible! Yeah, I think worse than death. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him to support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis! I thought the poison caused instant death! That full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles to control respiration to fail. Yeah, this is actually in here too. Yes. Basically your lungs basically can't breathe and you die. You die, boys. Respiration. In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. All the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. That's hideous. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was sleeping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. Alright, boys. Are you suggesting this bottle console actually contains this terrifying poison? Yes. This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hit hetero unknown poison, which is no means of testing, is a happy tale for a defense. Ahem, if I may. All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you must be taught something. It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal others' honest hard work and then announce the results as you discover them? I'm appalled! What a loathsome act! Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame his heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree? Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in this great empire Japan is breaking the rules! Are there rules? There ain't no rules for this shit! What's so funny? Oh, excuse me. Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett? May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please? Oh, God! Well, yes, I don't see, why not? Oh, sweet God. The poison is gone after a while, isn't it? It's gone after a while. Yeah, the poison is gone after some time. Don't get too big on your boots, you some insignificant little island boys. Sorry. To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable. Really? But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time to get these games to end. Cheers. Cheers. You are insane. Okay. God. Wait, what are you doing? No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. What the hell? This woman's insane. Fuck off. It's an plant extract. Oh, God. Sweet mother. Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned. So, no curare. The bottle was clean! That's what you're saying! You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so consistently here in the grand venue. Most kind! Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. Would you like to excuse now, please? I think I've given more than enough of my time for furtherance of friendship between our countries. Ah, yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense! There had to be poison in that bottle! So how did she swallow a whole glass of its life to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Because it wears off. It's the simple truth. It wears off after a while. So it's just like, it wears off. Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little fair or Far Eastern charade. It'll make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There's a bit of poison in the bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have kneeled over dead. Come on, Inosuke. We have all the clues now. The bottle of water contains poison. It technically did contain poison if you think about it. There is poison. It did. The culprit did poison to Dr. Wilson. Did put it into the carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious? Oh, I am, boys. Fool, are you blind? There's a possibility the bottle could contain poison. I mean, just would be so. Miss Brett drinking water. That's right. We should have had a complicated argument, I think. I believe the complication can be explained. It wears off. That's literally what I said. It wears off. The effect wears off. It's still there, but it wears off. That happens. So I think through all the things that don't quite add up here. Just like how, like with sparkle water, the sparkle wears off after a while. She answered evidence of a partner somewhere has to be. Very well. Surely assert this claim. That I must have seen assertion evidence. Again? The answer to this riddle is right in Ms. Brett's own research report. That's not a valid explanation. No. After all, we don't speak English. That report's utter gibberish. The impudent young scoundrel's trying to ridicule court, your excellency. I am not trying to ridicule anyone. Honest, I'm just reading Susanto San's notes. I concur. This report's too extensive to be considered by court. Section council. Section. Special characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about the kukare poison. Kurare, I mean. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, council. Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years to lace the heads of arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So they've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point, please! But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes! Good point! That's what I said. I said that it does, the effect does wear off, but it's still there. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because they've eaten poison. Good gracious, Council! No, that would be madness! But I actually found the answer to that conundrum. It's called... It wears off. The effect, but it's still there. Research paper here. As a special characteristics, it says here, the poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention the particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret it what's written like this. Kurare enters the body through an open wound as terrifying poison effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poison effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you offered us research. You don't go into poison special characteristics, and you knew that you could make the spectacle of drinking the water without endangering yourself. You technically had the poison in you, but, You meddling little... Rapscallion! Oh, damn, that one came to life. Well, Ryusuke, turns out... You're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer? Oh, this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I fail to see how it's possibly... Oh. So, little puppy has a new toy to play with, some facts he read in a book. So I'm afraid no, this is teach your little boy, or it makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Could it wear off? Your schoolboyish logic is fatal flaw. Schoolboyish flaw. As even the brains managed to deduce, kukare is safe to ingest. It seems like these effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus. Oh, yes, of course. Gastric suckers, what are they? So, if the sleeper poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? Ah! That's right. Good gracious, but wait. He had a wound. That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy would be able to understand. No. Science back then was a little bit different than it is now, wasn't it? But back in the 19th, 20th century. Order in the court. The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, it would affect them the same way. Are you trying to suggest? Yes, this coconut is completely relevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something simple as that. That swan just came to life in an instant. What is this woman have inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's sort of a conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Yo! Oh yay! Hell yeah. I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallow the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we know, this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the kokare? The medical report card now, shall we? He had a tooth extracted. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference. Bitch. Toxic effects of kokare only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you just had been the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Ah! Ah! Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. Ah! So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat to myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. What did she? What? You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! I mean, it could just slip. Oh no! There he goes. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No! No! Oh, sweet. What is this? What just happened? It's the English one. She just smashed the bottle. And the Supreme Court was a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water as broken bottle as possible. At once. You're wasting your time. I'd like to put carpet under my feet as a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. Oh, fuck off. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can't just fuck the benches shut as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we've never know now, will we? There really is poison in that bottle. Or not. You. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for prosecution? Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to the photographic print, I presume. The stake. That's right. And really, look at this photograph. It's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course the only person that could have shot him front was the little schoolboy. Idiot. No, you killed the victim that day using gurare. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you shot him. You waited until he picked up the pistol you arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hitting gun. In the skirt. Then in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor's chair around. Do you see? She had every reason to commit this crime! What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun used as a shoot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have shred of evidence. Exactly! And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, prosecution stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. And delivered cold-blooded by accused Ryunosuke Naruhodo. This is unbelievable. How would this be happening? We had her, but now she's really gonna get away with it? The way she destroyed the evidence was obscene! Ryunosuke. Yes? We've come this far, but now? I only want to finish it. What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence. It's true, so there are any clues left for us to use now. They must be in your head. In my head? Where your powers of observation could depend on. Yes, well, it's true, but I didn't manage to notice the woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head! So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail of the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. There was a blood stain on that. A blood stain. Not ketchup! That's blood! It's Cosmo, right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the scene in my head. I couldn't remember another clue to identify. There's a clue! Let's go. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe that smug spot the English woman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me every while since we feel some missing memories this day. Whether I could be writing the truth all about all this. The blood stain here somewhere, so it shows me. The blood. We need a stake! Inspector Hosanaga, answer me this! Eh? What is it? Oh, he's so miles away, probably thinking about the bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, Fairfloor, perhaps you took anything else to see of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak you took in the victim's table that day. What did I say about something important? Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in the photographic print of my own eyes that day. I saw the things to saved on. A sputtering blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, it would have been more. No, it would have been more severe. No, it can't be the case because the bullet never went through, right? It never went through. No, it can't be. Nah. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. I suppose I shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front. There's no way the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him! Oh. Yes. For blood to have made onto the plate implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have sitting opposite the professor as you were. Giselle Brett. I beg your pardon! This is beyond ridiculous, fabricated nonsense! As the court seriously expected to believe something accused apparently has remembered seeing. Hotta! Aw, put the little fool, you crying bitch! Cry. That's right, bitch. Cry. Cry your shit. Cry your shit. Go cry. Go cry to the British Empire and go cry to the Queen Victoria and tell her that I beat your ass. This This could be the moment the entire career of police was leading to. Inspector? You mean? Yes. I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence to see the crime. I took it to meet it all. I don't care if I call me crime victim because of it. You did what? She fucked. Took the steak and eating this bread. I took the steak to search it for the eating. And I did it all in the name of justice. Then we can find more for sure what I was busting in this bread's plate. We must examine it now. Inspector! The court wishes to examine the plate to the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir! Dude, steak is being important again like it was. This video is about to be 3 hours long. Holy fuck. Sorry for the delay. Your steak is served. Here is what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector. The blood bag! Show the court! Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. There's no blood. This is... No blood? No blood anywhere. No, that's impossible! It's a different steak. I know, I just saw it, I'm sure of it. But it's a different steak. Being a professor, it was blood inside of the plate. What a becoming expression, little boy. Oh, that fucking swan. You see, this is why I always can't trust the Japanese, I tell ya. In this case, it's Grace City Empire. It's Grace City Empire. I believe we finally reached the conclusion of this trial. No! Let's hope so. This less pretend attempt at court room is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. Oh, sweet God, wrong plate. Ha! The sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. A sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again. Be my guest. I'ma examine this shit to hell. So what I saw just figured my imagination? Check the steak. Open the steak. What in the world is this? I think it's a Coban coin from the Homework of the Holy era, I believe. No, I don't mean what it is. I mean, what is it doing there? Just apart from the meat juices, looks good condition. I mean, it's very viable. This first the pearls before swam, but I never heard of a bullion in a bouillon. Again, this is extraordinary, though. This means. So that's gonna be really, really important. And then there's no blood on this. And then there's the mark, which is the same exact mark on the hands. There's emblem on the side of the plate. Is it a cat? It's a cow, obviously. Most likely because restaurants do traditional beef steak. It seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware. So it's a symbol of that kind of vibe, is it? It's a cow. That's not a cat. You're literally like Luigi doing like the "it's a cow," like the vine. Oh my god, dude. Was it play? I thought I saw just with imagination. Just now, I've lost. You're just scared. It's not over yet. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Believe in myself, really. Maybe I should examine the evidence yourself. I already did. The evidence requested defense, which was in a problematic way. So I already did examine it, but it's gonna have to be updated. So we're gonna have to update it. Even though I already did examine it, we're gonna have to update the description. Let's go ahead and like. I certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath the cut of meat. And it's from Hoyer, too, it's quite valuable. Well, Meredith, just as well look. What are you thinking of eating it? No. Next time I order a steak in an expensive restaurant, I think for sure. My heart goes out of being racing as a Philip and me and the prize. I think you might have the wrong end of the stick about it. You just go, oh, Kodak coin underneath the steak. It's a logical explanation. There's any objections? That bloodstain was a clinching trial for me. Clues? There's another one. Your Excellency, please wait, please, I'm hiding another clue. And the clue will be shocking truth. The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beef steak. Your Excellency, I made so clear, haven't I? will not be able to return them anyone's prosecution's trial. I'm sorry, expiration until it's completely sci-fi with visual the spell. I see. So, the country is the position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency. Council for Defense, you're like clear shot, the court should be looting. Precisely on the plate that you saw. Underneath. And then, a Koban coin. This. Got it! Good gracious, that's... Koban? What on earth? Oh, I everyone at that. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beef steak you ordered at the restaurant. The question is... Or is it the wrong steak? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden in the meat? Shut up! What a ridiculous notion! How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't even know what today is. I know part of it. I fail to see how it's rivaled the coin under the meat. Could simply have a careless mistake a chef made of... No. Duh, no. Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe those actions in the kitchen. It happens to be hidden underneath a piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip my ticket to the Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency! Yes, Counsel. A rare Hoi Koban just happens to be hidden underneath a piece of steak. If it turns out to be irrelevant to this case, I'll give him a lawyer job right now. Oh, please, and let's stop you. No one invited you anyway. Perhaps the boy just realized it is who is irrelevant. Even though I am the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential to ask the owner of this coin to explain what is it doing under the steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. The only one person can belong to. The owner of the Koban found under beef steak is the old man. Obviously, it can only be the antique dealer owner of Rasute, Koryo Korikuta-san. Kore as in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, ridiculous Japanese names are so quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside a military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. Earlier, like an hour ago, I remember him saying it was of some Koban coin when it happened. Exactly the moment his gun was fired. He was looking for it. The gunshot reaches me not, so I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting a treasure. Indeed, Hoyara Koban, my prized coin! The Hoyara Koban? Do you mean to tell me? No, please! Why would a Koreta-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and his plate? That makes no sense! Ooh, which is why I'm asking to bring Koreta-san back to the witness stand and ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses to testify earlier back here. Without a moment's delay. I can't believe we've come back around to the pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the Lucas' Koban, we'll find this candle in this case. The stakes were most likely switched, weren't they? They were switched. So it's the wrong stake. It's literally the wrong stake from the start. There's no blood on it. The one that does have the blood on it is the other stake. There's two stakes. What is that all about? We haven't been called up again. You realize it's dinner time for my little baby idol? When my son's belly is empty, he's fierce as a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police, we were like miserable dogs, forced to bear and false witness. And then cast from this courtroom, my son then I became ruined man, trice worthless witness antique. Nothing more to have to say. The sun has set on the Rasute shop's owner's existence. Be that as it may, Kosokuro Tatana has something to come to the light of your clarification. As far as your Rusate memory, stabbed him! Yes, that's it! That's the very one it exists! That's what it is! That's a pleasant, squibbly hoy treasure that my rusty balls are to place a fateful day! It can't be. Stuff. Young man! Enlighten this discrepant fool! Put me out of my misery! Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and his plate, so soaking its seasoned meats as juices. Sandwich! Soaking! Seriously! Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my hoy treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would do such a thing? Such a unconscionable thing! Excuse me. Could I say something? There's another steak. Yes, of course, there's 2 steaks you got, so there's the other one that's a true steak. Proceed, Inspector Hasanaga. I mentioned this earlier trial, but I was working in a covered restaurant to investigate another case. Yes, that's right, in the corporation. La Garden is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Good crimes on duty. Yeah, this is gonna be just as long as as literally the final trial in like the final trial, like in like the final episode of like the Trial Tribulations. This episode's gonna be just as long. Holy fuck! That's why you were sent to a gun cover, is it? Yes, I took a job at the waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that the Kobe incident is the work of the same thief. So Master was a master thief at the work at the restaurant on a regular basis. The place's already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know the master thief part, but they identified the person who stole ahead the Kurakuta Sans Kobe as well to clear. What? What? I know who it is. I think the court elected defense to be the matter. Tell us, who was the one that did it? Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Aisa Nosa! What? How? How dare you! You monster! Monster? I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief for La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? Yes. But it wasn't me, it was Ido! Ido's the mastermind behind it all! Are you blaming a baby? Are you blaming a damn baby? Like, probably like a year-old baby that literally knows nothing? You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son? Innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa! Nosa! Yeah! Clippity cloppity clippity clop. Yeah! It's Waluigi stash. It's the Wario stash. Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Aisa Nosa, preparing to stand down the Supreme Court, sir. It's literally just Wario with the stash. Put the baby down. Baby. Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages Nippon Imperial Army pays expected to keep our country safe? I understand the temporary increase in taxation owing to recently ended conflicts remain in peace. I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son! That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant. The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I go there as a reconnaissance at Target. I enjoy chopping my way through good stick at the same time. That sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork, which are worrying unbelievable. And your target that day was old man is Koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped a coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A virtual phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave. The steak is halfway through devouring when it happened. The gun shot. And then he hid it underneath. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew as the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I know too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could on the double. I slipped it under the stake, hoping that I'd be able to render this again with a later date. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd peddling on your own time. Well, Miss Brett. Oh, of course, dear lady. Of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentleman please be excused, Your Excellency. Indeed. Nope! That crime was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It was certainly appeared to be unrelated to Dr. Lewis's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Bro. Nonsense, is it? Well... Oof. And as for picking up your stick and biting into a and using a knife and fork, it's beyond a nonsense, it's pure madness! Bro. Very well. Now that the questions concerning this witness testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Oh, fuck off, Judge. Miss Ray, you're free to leave. Fuck up, Jigoku! Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. Don't you dare leave, bitch! And good day. Don't leave! Don't leave! Ryosuke, what's the matter with you? There's no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out it exactly, but something says she jarred me. I feel like there was a contradiction is there somewhere I can't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but you're too late. The trial will be over. Wait, Miss Brett! What is it now? I'm afraid it's just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like to explain the contradiction in your parting words from a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction? What a new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about, Inosuke? Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your stick and biting into it without using a knife and a fork, it's beyond a nonsense. It's pure madness. Without a knife and a fork. Yes, I'm quite right. So it was supposed to have a contradiction. I need to see evidence counsel contradicting. Notice how the steak is like... Notice this with the steak. Let's see. This is barely stained. It's barely even stained. Like, bro, it's not even stained. It's not even stained. Like, this is... Goddamn. Oh my god, dude. God. Let's go with the steak. So why are there bite marks? Hold on. But then, why are there bite marks on the steak? But then, why are there bite marks like that? Normally, okay, here's the thing. It's kind of a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? Present the steak plate or the crime scene photograph. Either one works. Either one works, so it really doesn't matter. But here's an example. You see how there's like bite marks on it? Let's go with the crime scene photograph. The photographic prints seem to continue that the events have occurred. What's interesting is the plate of steak that you see at the victim's table. The steak Miss Brown has been eating for a bit. Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency. The marks. Steak was at the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're splitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something say steaks seem considered very unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? Is it raw? Medium rare, which is fucking disgusting? Shouldn't have it taking the shape of the edge of where I've been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Like, she just went like an animal. That was exactly console. Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman couldn't even come picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and a fork. Of course she did. She was by an English gentlewoman herself. Then take a look at the steak. In particular, the edge has been eaten. As you can see, there's clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. Ah! Oh! It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. Oh shit, bitch. So, if your claims wouldn't complete anything without using a knife and a fork, there shouldn't be a teeth marks on the steak at all! Bros. But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightfully Miss Brett was rendering you hungry. Cry, bitch. Cry. Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. But wait, didn't you say... Of course, we'll be able to blink of an eye. Rest assured I'm about to put this rookie to put... I've heard enough, you irritating little spectacle samurai relic! Of course, you lady! What's the matter, Miss Brett? Ruffled your feathers? Clear the witnesses means she realized the catch by completion is teeth marks stake half of her. Ryusuke, do you know what you're gonna do with this? Yes, I will ask. Coming together. So the stakes were switched. Obviously, it's not her stake. It's obviously Nosa's stake, and then the other stake. Like I said, there's two stakes. The teeth marks are actually his stake. This stake is actually hers. The one with the blood mark is the one that's hers. There's two. Like I said, there's two. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept those teeth marks as taken a little unnaturally, put it, counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting telling us? Damn, this is 3 hours long. Everything, Your Excellency. Everything! Yes, I believe that this barbaric teeth marks in the stake here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? I want to know the meaning of that phrase, typical Japanese empty threats. Typical British empty threats, am I right? How can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought up before court yet. It hasn't been. What? But just because it's shown yet, doesn't mean the evidence does not exist. This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already. 3 hours for me. So the evidence is brought forward? Can't be. I don't believe you have it. I don't, but there's someone else who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And evidence is willing to submit the evidence referring to will solve every remaining mystery about this case, the one that has some blood stain. AKA, we know exactly who. B! The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosanaga. What? I have it? Yes. You have the second stake. You think I've been holding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous! No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this stake with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, in early this afternoon, Sergeant Nose had told the court following, I enjoyed chomping away through a good steak. As well as admitting the stealing of the coin, he told us it slipped in under his steak. You watch it, cadet! I'm a superior officer! Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? The stake you put under the coin, in fact, your own stake. Tensha! Affirmative, of course! I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the stake of the detective submitted as evidence earlier is his stake, was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal. The other stake is hers. But that makes no sense! The plate was taken from the victim's table. It was switched around. Yet the gentlewoman doesn't advise her signal she had an opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. I didn't even suggest taking such a thing. To get over to the entire British Empire. Well, then, how do you explain the paradox? Exactly, surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched those two sticks around. Yes. Actually? Yes. I am. He did switch them around. I am suggesting that. You did switch the plates! Well, after it happened, he freaked out and went, oh shit! When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes, I panicked! As I said, I immediately lifted my stick and hid the coin underneath it. But then, when the waiter announced he was undercover policeman, I thought I had it. The sergeant investigated this with me, but it didn't get marching orders. So when the cadet was arrested taken off the kitchen, I seized my chance. Just put the baby back. With my military precision and timing, I switched my stick with the one in the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have! I never saw you do such a thing! It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was to do or die, I tell ya. Oh, yes! You did what I've done! Unbelievable! Oh my god, dude. The stakes. However, fear not, prosecutor son. What now? I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform that that's all I did, sir. Oh, you did! That's plenty, Sergeant! It's enough. So, if Sergeant knows I switched the plates around, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosanaga? Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had only not taken Brett's steak, but the Attorney's but also the Sergeant's. You took both. Both stakes. So, for certain evidence, you had to take both. Ah! Oh, Oh, she pissed. That's correct. You are amazing, bruh. Even though you're a bit extreme, but you're fucking amazing. Then please present to the courts now. The plate is actually the victim's table, precise moment he was shot. Can you possibly tell us now? I mean, cold stab. You're tough. Me to say bearing on this case. Oh, it does, bitch. No, you're not wriggling your way out of this time, lady. I beg your pardon. Don't I beg your pardon, bitch. Surely you're not just forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises such a problem to you. No? Huh, you're the one who decided there was a problem, me. The reason the defense asked the plate was to confirm something the defense had never seen. Thanks, he remembers. I'm quite sure I saw on the spread. Blood. On the side of the plate was a table directly behind Dr. Wilson. There was a clear splatter of blood from the gunshot wound in the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate hidden from this bread. Let's not prolong this further. Inspector, we should this report. Present the beef steak and plate as originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Let's go! Yes, sir! Sorry for keeping you. This is it! There it is! Here's the other steak and plate. Please, feel free to examine it. This is it? The blood stain. It's clearly visible, look. There it is. Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see is the side of the plate. Shows us the moment the victim was shot. He was facing the table, his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruto-san to have shot the victim. Oh! It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. Giselle Brett. I'm sure everyone knows by now who the person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! Oh, this breakdown though. This breakdown. Outdone by a Japanese. Me? By a Japanese schoolboy. No. 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 Dude! Oh my god! Oh, there's the black one. What the fuck? That's a lot of chicks. Some little baby chicks, little baby chick swans, and of course, out she gets the black one. Oh my god, it's getting a little. God damn. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. That's why I had babies. What's the kind of behavior for an English gentlewoman? Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time. Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using kukai. As you summarize, I choose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water, because kurare is unheard of here in Japan. Yes, of course, I never intended to remain in the restaurant for as long as I did. I needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would be all over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over and greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point. So I concocted a plan to spur at the moment. Plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of cocaine in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Knew it! Under your skirt. Told ya! Skirt. So I was right. There were 2 guns, bitch. It's... yes. Then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which I had presumed placed on the floor. A place where you were sure would have noticed it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun, as I intended. And then, just bent down to pick it up. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun, even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed that Holo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry and adjourned the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor around his chair around. Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked up the gun. Oh boy, here we go. That's the truth. Alright. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency? Yes? I wonder... might I speak with you in private later? I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me. Naruhodo-san. Well, we're not guilty. We won that trial. It would seem this trial's going to run its course. I presume the prosecution is agreement. This can't be! Takatsuchi Ouchi does not lose. Takatsuchi Ouchi does not lose. It is not like this. No, this is a rookie student! Rookie. You better start getting used to the tough opposition. Ah! Yosuke Naruhodo! What? Yes? This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten! Oh, I love this one! You've become consumed with age council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. Oh shit, my man! It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. He stands back! I love that. 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Ouchi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. Technically, yes. That is true. This trial of the Supreme Court of Japan, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter of our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, Yosuke Naruhodo presented an excellent case. I thank you, Your Excellency! The use of evidence and deduction unraveled the truth of the modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world, but the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. Science! I'm sure science will soon bring new methods of investigation and presumed justice. In the future, the law awaits, but what will it look like? I cannot begin to imagine. For those young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi? Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark to the journey of discovery, the illustrious British Empire. You learn all you can, observe what the wider world will be able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. What is that about? I think it's a great old son. Oh, never mind. As for you, Yosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes. In you, I sense, how I can put it, unusual potential. Very much look forward to seeing how you carry on onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency! It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Yosuke Naruhodo, not guilty! Hey! It's cherry blossoms instead of confetti. Nice. This court is now adjourned. Oh, nice. We did it. Oh, God. I can't believe it. I can't believe this happened. I made it. I defended myself. I made it through the horrendous trial. Sasuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Oh, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No. It was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki in the place of Yume University Street, don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work is certainly paid off. Congratulations to both of you for proving that Ahoda-san's innocence. Ah, our trusty judicial system. You worked hard for that result too. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much! If we hadn't had that research report on Miss Brett, I don't know how the things would have turned out. You kind words should really be my father. He simply doing as he asked. He has an idea for me to go to university and investigate. Your father? Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me for intruding in court proceedings, Your Excellency. Satomi Katoba, judicial assistant to the defense. Speaking of Mikatoba, there you are. I believe your measures are in order. Tadahoda, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it was I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikatoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when he met Dr. Wilson? Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will learn all that I can. I swear on this to spare the Asogi clan. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. The Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. It cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me, what's happened to that woman? To Giselle Brett again. After all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but what do you mean? Surely she's gonna face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not? It's the matter of consular jurisdiction. Inspector Hosanaga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate. But what's all about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? But then, who? We're gonna bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case somewhere far away where her voices can't be heard. But why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now. We signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. Then, so long as it's not a serious incident of highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that's for the young student. Today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never in danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make a change. This time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. The professor. You're right, there's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Yudosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might as well just lock out in the bar. As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you both food and drink. You're Detective Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about the details for now. Do la carnival! Will you accompany us, Professor? Of course, la carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh, yes, thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tired here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma? Yes, Ryusuke? I just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? The defense was all your own work. Your skills made a difference then. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help but thinking maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, I was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All the tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do. That's all, because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryusuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believe in me when you're saying. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to when you're defending someone. Sometimes, in the court, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your clients. Just look at that today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with previous experience, but you never stop believing in me. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and time again, but you never stop looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryusuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. Sounds very serious. What is... Ah! You're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study toward a Great Britain, don't forget. Ah, yes, that too. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikatova. Susato-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. Bro. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. So that's the end of the first case. So, next episode we're gonna start the second one, which is pure investigation. Probably the first in the series, really. A pure investigation trial. No trial. The adventure of the unbreakable speckled band. This one's gonna be interesting because, well, it's a pure trial. It's a trial. It's a trial. It's not like, like it's not, it's a pure investigation. Just all investigation. There is no trial. There is no trial or anything. It's investigation only. It's an investigation only case. Yeah, it's really weird, but it's an investigation only case. Yeah, just like, usually every first case story is a trial only. We see no's, but investigation only? Yeah, that's a rarity. So, this is going to be a first. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this whatever. Next time, we're going to go ahead and start the second case. It's also a bit long, but again, yeah. So, see you guys then. Bye.